KTBB News Time 7:51, brought to you by Lucky's Cleaner, South Highway 155 in Tyler.
Speaking of Lucky, as we do this time every Friday, we check in with KTBB owner, General Manager Paul Gleiser, and you tell me this week, what's on your mind, sir?
As my dad always said, I would rather be lucky than good.
He's a smart man.
We're sponsored by K.E. Cellars, Tyler's Old World-style boutique winery in the French Quarter on South Broadway across from the mall. We like it when you share these commentaries with your social network via Facebook, Twitter, and email, and more important, we like your comments. To join the conversation, just go to ktbb.com/youtellme, and you'll find all the tools for commenting and sharing the entire conversation with your friends. This is not a lecture, it's a dialogue. I say what's on my mind, you say what's on yours. That's why we call it You Tell Me. Thanks to Daniel Henninger, his commentary in Thursday's Wall Street Journal is the catalyst for our commentary today. The 33 miners in Chile, who were quite literally resurrected from their grave this week, owe their lives in no small measure to two men. The first is Chilean President Sebastián Piñera. The second is a 38-year-old man in Pennsylvania named Brandon Fisher. First, President Piñera. I know next to nothing about the Chilean president, save for what I have seen of him in connection with the Chilean mine crisis, but what I have seen is indeed impressive. He is apparently South America's answer to Rudy Giuliani. When news of the mine disaster first broke, Piñera became engaged. He made timely and repeated visits to the site of the caved-in mine. He actively embraced the families of the trapped miners, and he used the power and influence of his office to bring forces to bear on solving the problem. Unlike President Obama during the BP oil well blowout, when genuine offers of help poured in from around the world, President Piñera cleared the way for that assistance to come into his country and get to work. During the BP oil crisis, President Obama fumed and postured and cast about for backsides he could kick. There may very well be some posteriors that need to be kicked as a result of the mine collapse in Chile. But if there are, we have seen no posturing to that effect from President Piñera. He has apparently been too busy trying to actually get the problem solved. That's what leaders do. And then there's Brandon Fisher. If the Chilean mine had collapsed in 1990, it is unlikely that President Piñera's best efforts would have led to this week's triumphant conclusion. But fortunately, Brandon Fisher dropped out of college about a decade ago to pursue his fascination with drilling. He is the founder and CEO of privately held Center Rock, Incorporated of Berlin, Pennsylvania. Center Rock is the maker of an innovative drill bit from which it has profited handsomely. When the disaster broke, Fisher called the Chileans and offered his bit as a means to bore a rescue tunnel to the miners. The Chileans wasted no time accepting. The miners are now out of the mine. Center Rock was not alone, however. The drilling rig itself came from Schramm Incorporated of Westchester, Pennsylvania. A German company supplied the cable. A Japanese company supplied the fiber optics that made communication with the miners possible. A Richmond, Virginia company supplied socks that are resistant to bacteria and foot infection, and the list goes on. As Matt Moffett reported in the Wall Street Journal on September 30th, innovative products that you likely have never heard of poured into Chile from nearly every corner of the earth. Two very important things happened in Chile. First, profit-seeking companies from around the world, each armed with the products and innovations from which they hope to get rich in the free market, successfully brought their collective force to bear and averted a heartbreaking human tragedy. And second, the government of Chile was wise enough and confident enough to get out of their way. The lesson is profound. 33 otherwise doomed men are alive today thanks to capitalism and limited government. Thus the question you can't help asking, even if you ask it only to yourself. Based on what you have seen of the two men, when the next crisis hits here at home, whom would you rather have making the decisions? President Piñera or President Obama? That's my word. What's yours? Go to ktbb.com/youtellme, and you tell me. I can't think of a better weekend to be looking for something to do. The weather's going to be perfect, and I have the something to do. Spend your Saturday with your family at the Keepersall Estates Harvest Festival and Grape Stomp. It starts at 9 a.m., goes to 5 p.m., and your admission and most of the activities are absolutely free. There'll be live music all day tomorrow. Winemaker Marnell DeVette will host wine trivia with prizes at noon and at 3. You can stomp grapes to begin the winemaking process in the tradition of the old country. There'll be face painting, vineyard walking tours, a sandbox for the kids, cork art, and a photo contest for adults. There'll be blind wine tastings and wine by the glass available on the veranda. Festival food will be available for purchase all day. Bring lawn chairs and blankets, make a day out of it, in this delightful October weather. This is an annual event, and it's an East Texas version of a tradition in winemaking regions all over the world. The Keepersall Estates Harvest Festival and Grape Stomp takes place on the grounds tomorrow at Keepersall Estates. Take Broadway south to Highway 344, turn left, and go 2 miles to learn more. Just click on the link under News at kesellers.com.